Hey, how's it going? I'm Dave Lisowski, and this is How to Win with Video. In this episode, I'm joined by Justin Heath. Justin is a realtor at Keller Williams, and more importantly, he's actually a client and a good friend of mine. He's one of the top rising real estate agents in his branch, in his area, and the reason that I love working with him, and part of the reason for his super quick success, is because he's embracing new ways of doing things in a market and in an industry that, by large, is comfortable doing things the way that they've always worked. This episode is actually broken up into two parts. The first of which is the larger part where we talk about entrepreneurship, mindset, and using video and new technology. The second part is where Justin talks more so about how he applies all of that to his unique approach and the way that he does real estate that has brought him this quick success. Some of the things that you're going to hear us talk about in this first part include handling rejection as an entrepreneur, how to grow your business by staying in front of people online, how to get testimonials that are way more effective than anyone else in your market, the difference between being professional and being human, and the importance of open communication with all of your clients. We're going to jump right in with Justin talking about how he took his real estate network in the area from 0 to 100 real quick and the mindset needed to do that. Here we go.
I don't have a sphere here, right? I didn't have a sphere. I do now. But I have a sales background, and I love talking to people. Where, look at me 5 years ago, I was an introvert. I didn't like making new relationships, and then life hits you like a T-bone, you know, and
reality catches up.
Yeah, you change and you become more open to relationships and you start talking to people. So for me personally, I had that sales background where I could pick up a phone and call somebody, call 100 numbers a day and get rejected 90 times. But those 10 times, that was success to me.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the failure. I looked at, all right, I literally, in my job, in my corporate life, I called people every day, 100 dials a day, and I connected with a lot. And the 10 connections a day that I would make or so, I looked at that as success. And then I knew, because I was doing that for such a long time, for 13, 14 years in a corporate role. I knew that I could do it in real estate. Right.
You were primed for it, man.
Yeah, I mean, people say, well, you grew up in a real estate family. I did. My dad's been a licensed real estate agent in South Jersey for 45 years. I've got my mother who lives in Cape Coral. She's been an agent for 15 years. None of it has had any impact on my business. None. They don't know any of my clients. They don't know my sphere. So I just take that, it's the entrepreneur, similar to you, man, like the entrepreneurial spirit in establishing relationships and just getting in front of people. That's really what propelled me. So you hinted at, agents are lucky if they sell a couple homes a year. There's statistics say that you're lucky to do 5 transactions in your first year as an agent. So tooting my horn a little bit.
I was going to say, so what did you do?
16 in my first. And this year I'm up to 34 transactions in my second year.
Damn.
So,
nice.
So
that's very solid.
It's explosive
trajectory.
Yeah. There are agents out there that are much younger than me that have had wild success. And I look at those agents like, wow, you're 25 and you're doing what you're doing, good for you. It's wild. And then you have people that they struggle, and it's unfortunate that they are.
Right.
They don't know where to start. For me, it was easy. I knew where I was going. I knew how to start. I didn't need somebody to teach me how to sell and to teach me how to create a relationship with somebody and to build trust.
Right.
I needed people to teach me the contractual language of the contract.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I
had the people skills. You just needed to be able to
develop that
technical, like, all right, what are the rules of this game over here?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, what does section 10-1-A mean?
That's
like,
exactly what I was going to say.
Right. Seriously, like, what, inspection contingency, what's that? When does it start?
Right. Right.
When does the clock start rolling?
Yeah. I feel like that's a very interesting thing about people who have had success in sales. I feel like you could, if you know how to sell, you can succeed in almost anything.
Yeah.
It's because, like, you've developed those people skills.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing it in a way that's not like, your sleazy snake oil salesman type of thing. It's like, if you know how to connect with someone, that'll apply anywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's such an underrated skill that people don't think about.
Right.
People think about, like, I'll learn the language, I'll learn the contracts.
Right.
And then, leads?
Yeah. Right.
Where is this in my study?
Yeah, right. That's the thing. It's a real thing. It's actually it's a paralyzing feeling to watch an agent or a new agent, even someone who's been in the business for a relatively young amount of time, to watch them be paralyzed by where are they getting leads, by fear of calling on a family member or a friend. I've had it.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like, right? Yeah. So it's not a fun feeling, but rejection, if you look at it the right way, like you said, fail forward, rejection can do wonders for your psyche. It really can. It teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
So I have a common practice. So in my daily routine now, I'm dialing on the phone 5 days a week. And in between certain time frames, I'll go out for appointments. I'll show buyers houses in the evening times. If I can't get out there, I've got a team now in place that can support me to show somebody a home. And they're all they're just really good culturized people. They're solid, they bring the same energy I bring to this situation,
which is important.
Yeah, because I want that. I want them to mirror the experience that I would give to somebody.
Exactly.
If they don't, then that's not me.
It's important to have that all the way through at every point.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So in my daily routine now, I'm dialing 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, it's even today, calling on the phone before heading over here is, you get rejected. People say, well, they listen to you and they're like, yeah, don't call me no more. Well, it's like, all right, well, I want to ask you one last question. And they're like, what? I just told you. I said, I understand. I'm not going to bother you anymore. Why won't you listen to me?
Yeah.
Why won't you meet with me?
Yeah.
Why are you rejecting me?
Yeah.
Type of deal.
Yeah.
And then you make them feel bad.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Or they just tell you to flip off and
I can't bring myself to be that type of person.
It's
not that.
Yeah.
I mean, being the dickhead that says F off.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like, I need to give them some type of review here.
Yeah. It's super interesting because I always like people get, sometimes they'll get angry.
Yeah.
They're not angry at you.
Yeah.
They're just angry.
Yeah. And it's just, you happen to be there.
You just happen to be there. I had a guy a week and a half ago, right before Christmas, on the 23rd actually of December, I was cold calling, picked up some new business, and the guy was like, beep, 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 like just dropping, fuck you, mother.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, got you on a bad day. Call you in 30 days.
Yeah. It's interesting how sometimes the holidays can be even worse.
Yes.
Because it hits people.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that it's like, just even with all the growth that you've had, it's still like cold call. I think a lot of people hit a point where they kind of get complacent and they let off the gas a little bit.
It happens all the time.
You said something awesome earlier where you only want to downshift if you're getting ready to pass someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So give me an example of, maybe not in a specific client interaction, but more so in the growth of your real estate career that you've downshifted to pass somebody.
It's being somebody looks at you and sees only a certain amount of potential, right?
Yeah.
And you know that you have more untapped talent than they see.
Yeah.
And you kind of, like I said, like I always have like the Fast and the Furious mindset, right? I'm in like fourth gear and I'm downshifting the third to not slow down.
Yeah.
Just pull out and come side by side and say, hey, like, I'm here too now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really not my mindset, really. But that happens all the time in the business, and that's what I'm picking up on is there are folks in the business that can make it toxic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But by and large, I will say most of, if not all of my interactions that I've had in the last 2 years have been very supportive, especially with the agents that are in my office. Particularly, it's a super open, conversational. Nobody hides anything from each other.
Right. When everyone's on the same page with that, it's so great.
We're all independent of each other.
Yeah.
Right. We're all independent business owners. Right. I can consider myself, I'm running a business. That's really ultimately what I'm doing is I'm trying to run a business and I'm trying to scale for profit.
Yeah.
But I'm also willing to open myself up to a new agent or even an existing agent and show them what I do, because I don't have a fear that they're going to steal something from me in a negative way. I might help them.
Yeah.
Right.
If you can instill something to them that they can take and run with in their own direction, like you said, everyone's independent of their own thing.
Yeah.
Then that's a win.
There's certain things that are kind of left unspoken. We don't talk about specific transactions that we have going on, or if I have a new listing coming up and I haven't yet signed the listing agreement, we don't give out the address,
right?
Because you don't really know,
right?
But
there's levels.
There's levels
with anything,
right? Which is understandable. I wouldn't expect somebody else to do that.
Sure.
Either. It would be, I feel in my mind, it's unprofessional.
Right.
Right. To ask for that amount of detail.
Right. Right.
But I would say, one of the main reasons why I'm at Keller Williams is because of that culture to help grow people.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about. My office in particular has that family feel. Yeah. Like, we have a struggling agent. Let's all get around that agent and find out how we can help them.
Yeah. That's great, man.
And it's really up to them to want to receive it. Right. Right. And if they don't, that's okay. Yeah. But I would say by and large, like, that's the personality, that's the culture of the environment that I'm in. Yeah. And that's really kind of what I bring to the table when I'm working with a client, is that same philosophy. Yeah. So, to go back to the question, to downshift is more so to propel myself forward. Yeah. I've been in competitive situations where I know that I'm going up against a really strong listing agent. And I want the relationship. I want to sell that house. I want to represent the seller. And so I try and pull out the stops. Yeah. I've got certain things that I've created, certain presentations, certain, analysis that I bring to the table. And really, it's, at the end of the day, people will make decisions based off of if they like you. That's really what it boils down to. That's it. None of the other stuff matters. Yep. If someone can leave a meeting with a good feeling, a feeling of trust and optimism, right, then it's game over. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. All the time. So, I know that when we were talking a while ago, you were saying that you're trying to kind of level up, running your own lane in terms of what a lot of other people are doing, and you're kind of, I know that you've been utilizing Instagram, you've been utilizing social media, you're starting to use video more often now, and so you're kind of, you recognized something that is underutilized right now within real estate, right? Which I 100% am with you. Yep. What how does that kind of play into your growth trajectory of where you're trying to go, and how's it been adding that into your? It's been
everything else that you've been doing.
Yeah.
Cold calls and all that.
So for me personally, I believe in that. A lot of agents don't. They're in some regards they're doing what they've always known. Right?
Yeah.
30, 40 years.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right?
Not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know. For me personally, the best way to get in front of people is with content, live content, short snippets of information. I use social media, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Twitter mainly for, informational purpose, news gathering information.
Yeah.
So I don't really use that all that much, but I do use Instagram more often than not. What I find to be important is delivering my face to somebody. Right?
Yeah.
Why
is that so important in what you do?
I want them to see me.
Yeah.
I don't want them to see a suit. I want them to see every day me.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's more than just a face.
Yeah.
It's something deeper than that.
It's reality.
Yeah.
It's personal. And I feel like the more you get in front of people, it's a way to get in front of somebody. Everybody is nowadays, everywhere we go, crossing the street, in the crosswalk, in Target, Starbucks, doesn't matter where we're at, we're all doing one thing. We're all scrolling through our phone.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And there's folks out there that have capitalized on that, and they do an amazing job. I haven't capitalized on it. I don't want to get to the point where that's all I'm doing.
Right.
But I use that as a way to get in front of people. Right?
Yeah.
There's Justin again. He posts another video. Let's check it out. It's 30 seconds long.
Yeah. At the very least, it's just staying top of mind.
Yeah.
Staying in front of people.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people that when I'm talking with a lot of different people, and recommending, if it makes sense to them, recommending like a type of social value video type strategy thing.
Right.
You gotta understand that not everybody is gonna watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna watch. Maybe they'll just see it. Some people will like it, not watch, that type of stuff.
Right.
There will be some people that watch it, and so you make the good content for those people.
Right.
And at the very least, for everyone else, they're seeing it.
Yeah.
They're seeing you, and they're seeing you show up.
Right.
And that subliminally does a lot more than people think about.
Right. They're going to remember that. Like, they get a business card in the mail, and they're going to be like, all right, I already got that.
Yeah.
They want live content. People want live content. They want short content that's to the point, attractive, not the person, but what they're looking at material wise. But they want something that's gonna stick in their brain, right?
Yeah.
Oh well, I was considering using Dave for video, but Dave didn't send me anything. I don't know what Dave's work's like.
Yep.
We did that video for buyers and sellers, Sarah and Nate. I got so many comments off that from other agents, like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Even their friends, family, like, holy crap, like that was awesome.
Right. Well, that's an interesting thing, is that video, the whole purpose was, okay, they might leave you a solid review.
Right.
They might leave you a great testimonial. They could even record a testimonial and post it out. Yeah. But it's how do we make it something more than that?
Right.
Because it can be something more than that.
Yep.
There's levels to it where whenever I see someone using video, I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah. Good. That's a step in the right direction. Right. But then there is many more steps past that. It's like you get certified to be a real estate agent, you learn everything. Yeah. But then there's so many other people skills and tricks outside of that. Right. So I see if people post up video testimonials. Yeah. Long time ago, I had to edit a bunch of them for a doctor's office or something like that when I was working with a separate agency. Yeah. And it was just people in front of a camera. Right. Talking to the camera. Yeah. Saying it was great. This person was awesome. Dr. blah, blah, blah. I highly recommend him. Yeah. It's not compelling. Right. Because of what we talked about earlier with reality. Yeah. It's the method that I have adopted that we did with Sarah and Nate.
Yep.
I'm still working out the total name, but I have the analogy of SCORE figured out. So it's like the SCORE method.
Okay.
Where it's a story.
Yep.
It's got to be a story.
Right.
Because people don't care about just.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's got to be customer focused. Because people don't care about Justin's story.
Yeah.
Maybe they do.
Yeah.
But they care about how their stories play in.
Right. Yeah. They don't care about my story. And that's cool.
Right. They want to know how it's you got to be the sidekick to them.
Right.
They got to be the hero in their own story.
Correct.
So it's a story. It's got to be customer centric.
Yeah.
It has to. You need to include some type of objection.
Right.
Because everybody out there that is finding out about you, they have some little tiny hesitation.
Yeah.
And there's probably a common thread.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the world of real estate,
absolutely,
there are common objections. Right. So if you can address that, say, Sarah and Nate, what was your hesitation and how did you overcome that?
Yeah.
Why did you go with Justin?
Sure.
Then it is the reality. What was their reality beforehand? Where are they moving to now? Where are they currently?
Yeah.
What good happened because of this?
Yeah.
And then engage at the end.
Right.
Here's what you should do.
Yeah.
Contact Justin.
Right.
Hire Justin.
The SCORE method.
Exactly.
Right.
Big brain moves.
Yeah. Right.
But really, I think that was kind of how it was laid out.
Right.
And I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're both consumers to plenty of other things out there.
Absolutely.
If I'm watching or if I'm researching something and I'm going to be spending a decent amount of money on it, there's a big buying decision there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if
psychological.
Exactly.
It's all emotion.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I'm just watching a video of someone saying like, you should buy this, car. You should buy this car. Look at all these features. It's really cool.
The My Pillow.
Yeah. Buy the My Pillow.
My Pillow. By the way,
I want to know some.
They're like so.
Yeah. The real world review here.
Right.
It's like, I want to know maybe, okay, I have specific things. I'm like, I'm a side sleeper. Sometimes I sleep on my stomach.
Right.
Is it good? I want to hear from people who have had that. How did it work for you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What's your sleeping routine kind of like? Are you like sleeping on this type of mattress or this type of mattress?
Yeah.
Oh, it worked there? Cool. You need some like anecdotal type of story behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's compelling that way.
Yeah. And I think that that goes to show, really what the process is about. Soup to nuts.
Yes.
Right? They're telling their story. And that's what Sarah and Nate did. Was they told their story from start to finish.
Yep.
And then I came into the picture.
That's exactly it.
They already had it in their mind before I was ever a thought that they were buying a house.
Exactly.
They just didn't realize they needed to sell their house.
That's exactly it.
They
had their own. That was their beforehand reality.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. And then you got brought into it.
Correct.
And that's it. The way to make it compelling, because you could be kicking it on Instagram, posting out video after video after video, but if it's just people sitting in front of a camera just like, I bought with Justin. Justin was great. He helped us so much.
Right.
He got us what we needed.
Right.
Like,
good day, sir.
Yeah. It's like, all right, that was compelling.
Yeah.
But when all of a sudden you're taken into the world of somebody.
Yeah, it's like the video aspect, it allows people to come into my world in a nutshell, right? I post a quick 30-second story or a 15-second story on Instagram of me doing something, or hey, like I started like recording myself now, right? I set up my little DJ Osmo Mobile 3 thing, and hit the record button and be like, hey, like I just hung up from this person. You won't believe what just happened. Type of deal. Yeah. Or this is the type of day that I'm having. Yeah. Yeah. What's your day like?
Exactly.
It's making it real life, because I do think that we have this perception in real estate that it's all sunshines and rainbows for the agents. And it's really not. Yeah. Right. So I look at my job, and the money that I make, right, is hard-earned money. It's a commission-based job. I don't really worry about that aspect, because I know if I do a great job that will come to me. right? So you just got to work for it. But I do look at it in a fact of what my hourly rate is.
Yeah.
How am I getting paid? Am I maximizing my potential by working with XYZ clients? And are they seeing my value? Because if they're seeing my value, commission will never be a topic of conversation ever.
Right.
They know what it is that they're getting from me, and they know what to expect.
Yep.
The only difference between a seller and a buyer is a buyer doesn't pay the realtor's commission. Ever.
Interesting.
We work for free, essentially.
Yeah.
For the buyer. And
then it comes off the sale.
It comes off the sale of the house.
Yeah.
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 So little components to the business. And really at the end of the day, it's about educating people. And so if I can maximize educating somebody by doing video content, producing more video content, I'm going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost a twofold. You're killing two birds with one stone, because you can do it where you are educating people, but also humanizing you in the experience. You're knocking down a barrier that social media has set up.
Yeah.
Because so many businesses and business owners get onto social media, and at least for a long time there was that ideology of we need the logo, we need our business page, we need it very professional and uptight. And I mean, you go on Instagram now, and there's like every single professional brand has just, they're posting out memes. Yeah. I mean, the Slim Jim page has been posting nothing but memes for like 4 years now. Right. and it's huge. But why does that work? Because it's not like, look how professional everything we do here looks. It's like, that's expected. Right. Everybody that interacts with you is going to expect that you know what you're doing.
Correct. 100% of the time.
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody that's going to accept a conversation with you is thinking, let me vet him to see if he actually can do real estate. Right. Right. They're deciding, how much do we like this guy? How much do we trust this guy?
It would be literally the exact opposite for you. Right? In a sense, because if I'm going to hire you to do video for me, I want to see what you've produced, right?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
I hardly, with any of the deals that I've closed in the past 2 years, very rarely do I ever show previous work.
Really?
Well, it's because I use my video business card. Right. And people see that. Yeah. And right off the bat, that sets the tone. Yeah. That immediately is like, it's basically a demo reel that also humanizes the entire process, but then also educates. Yeah. It's that multi-tool. Yeah. It's the Swiss Army knife. Interesting. Because, hey, I'm showing you what we do.
So I'm wrong, people. Look at that. I was wrong.
A little education right here. Well, I mean, you've seen mine, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You see that, and it's kind of like, the way that it's constructed, there's bits of behind the scenes where you're seeing, okay, yes, very clearly this is actually like, they do things here. Yeah. And there's bits of finished product in there where it's like, okay, that looks really solid. Yeah. But then what's being talked about isn't just, it's so much more than just, we make good stuff look good. Right. Here's our approach. It's got to have a purpose, everything like that. Right. So between what's being shown and what's being said, it works together, and people by that point, after an introduction and seeing that, are usually ready to have a conversation. Yeah. And then once we're in a meeting, right, we know it's a sales meeting.
That's literally how you and I got connected.
That's exactly it. Right. Once we have a conversation, it's just a matter of like, I mean, like you said, I want to get to know. Yeah. That's the process. I think too many people that are videographers or video agencies are, again, they want to do their craft, or they want to make the sales. Sure. Whereas the right approach is getting to know, understanding, figuring out where you're at, right, where you want to go. And if my whole thing is, I'm never going to try and sell you a video that I don't think is going to actually, right, if you use it right, be able to accomplish part of what you wanted to get done. Right. And that's the thing too. In the meeting, I'm totally open. It's like, look, if you want to get this done, I suggest that we make this. Yeah. Here's how we should do it. and here's how you should use it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you want my help to do it?
Right.
Here's how much it will cost. Is that doable?
Yeah.
There it is.
Right.
If you've never had a sales meeting with me,
say yes.
There's how it goes.
Literally, right?
That's what you can expect.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's it. So when you take it that way, it kind of strips away that need of let me see your other work. Because there's trust.
Right.
The GoPro just shut off. There's a level of trust there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, 100%. There has to be with everything that you do. Mm-hmm. There's got to be ultimate trust on both sides, and it takes awkward sometimes. It takes the awkward conversation to kind of hash that out.
Right.
You know.
Well, it's like I've worked with people who haven't used what we've made.
Right.
And that sucks. That really sucks, because then in the past at least, I used to think it's not working for them because they're not using it, but they're going to think that it's because of something I did. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know? And nowadays, when I'm getting into something with someone, I set an expectation as well.
Yeah.
It's like, look, there's no point in us making this.
Sure.
If you're not going to use it, are you going to use it?
Right.
I will be there for you. I will take calls.
Yep.
I will strategize. That's all part of it.
100%.
But if you're not going to do something with it, none of what we talked about will happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. I think that is, I think that's paramount to have that conversation. Like, that should be something that everybody does. You know, I expect it actually, when I'm working with somebody, I want them to ask me the really difficult questions so that I can get through it all.
Exactly.
Right. I want their objections now rather than in 2 weeks when we're firing up the cylinders and we're taking off and we've done everything, right? And then it's like pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Those are the scratch your head moments. So I actually look for those moments as early up front as I possibly can get them. Yeah. Because it just helps me help them get over any obstacle that's in the way.
Right.
Right. And it's cool. Like, you get people all the time that are like, okay, we're not ready right now. Well, why? Yeah. Let's talk about why you're not ready. Because I'm okay with that you're not ready. Exactly. But let's just discuss it, because you might be ready, you just don't know. Right.
If everything else lines up and everything else makes sense, but they're just not ready right now. It's like, okay, maybe you can be ready right now, or let's figure that out so when we are ready, we know to make sure.
It's really identifying, are they being honest with themselves, right? The legitimacy of their obstacle, is it something that will really get in the way of us doing business together? Yeah. That's really, and breaking open the nutshell, like, that's what it is.
There it is. So, people are all just big nuts. They need to just be
big, broken, gigantic nuts.
Life's just breaking people open.
That's right. And I'm just a squirrel. I'm trying to, I shouldn't say that, actually. Not true.
I heard where that was going in my head. I was like, oh my God.
We had to stop right there, right? We need to censor
just
on
like
that.
It goes to we'll be right back. Please stand by.
Definitely.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, that's my game. And then I incorporated the red blazer into the mix.
That's branding 101 right there.
As a brand. Yeah. It's KW red, and I wear this to every single closing. When I post my social media, it's on my business cards, letterhead, whatever it is I'm doing. I want people to recognize this. Yeah.
Why? What is the?
I think it's different. Yeah. It's just different. It's just a way to stand out, right? It's me being my own personality. It's me being vibrant. It's me being fun, right? Because the process is fun. Yeah. It can be fun. Right.
It should be.
It should be. Right. Real estate does not have to be this huge stressor, this huge black cloud that follows you. It can be fun, and if you let it be fun, it will, right? So I try and bring that approach into every meeting, right? I want my buyers to have the ultimate freaking excitement that Laura had today on the call.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm aiming for, that Sarah and Nate felt, when they sold their house and then they got the house of their dreams. Like that's really what it's about, is bringing that enthusiasm to the table. And when I show up and I have this on, the looks that I get is like,
you've already conditioned people that they see that and they know, like, all right, something good is happening now.
It's like, we're here to have fun. We're not here to, like, yell, scream, stress.
Yeah.
We're doing this to put you in a better spot, and my goal is to make sure you have a lot of fun doing it. So this is what you get
in all its glory.
That's it. Yeah. So that's what it's about,
Nice. Cool. Well, if you're still here, hello. Justin, dude, we've had plenty of conversations about all of this beforehand.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we'll always be talking about variants of it again, but I appreciate you
it's been fun
sitting down, shooting it, and giving us some insight into the mind of a successful, fun real estate agent.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't change what I do for anything. It's to the point where my kids that are 9 and 7, they love learning about what I'm doing, right? So
you're doing something right.
Yeah, when your family starts asking you, your kids start asking you if you sold a house, and you tell them no, they're like, "What's going on?" Yeah. So it's fun, man. I've created some just amazing relationships, empowering relationships. I've had some eye-opening experiences for the good and for the bad. I would just leave you with this: every day is a 100% different day than the day before. It just is.
Yep.
You never know. You could be quiet, home, doing your thing, and then your phone, you get a call to go work with somebody, or you got to put out somebody's problem. So it's a different scenario every day. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It's just
keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, dude. If I was not in real estate, I would have never met you. Right,
and that alone,
that just seals the deal, right? That just cements everything in stone, 100%. No, 100%. No, think about it, right? If I wasn't in real estate, I wouldn't have met some of my really good friends that I have today.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be doing video. I wouldn't be pushing content. Who knows where life would have gone. So
it's not just growth in the career; it's growth for everything.
Right. Absolutely. So it's kind of like an abundance approach.
Yeah.
Right? Live life in abundance, and
love it.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
well, if you're not yet, you're still here, go follow Justin. He's on. I'll pop up his Instagram and Facebook and all of that type of stuff.
Yep.
It'll be here. And if you're selling or buying a house, it's a seller's market right now.
It is.
If you're watching this when it releases, it's a seller's market.
That's right.
But
top dollar.
If you're catching this after it's changed and it's a buyer's market, Justin can also help you there.
Yeah, we have a little while to get to that point.
Yeah, I think so. But hopefully this will be evergreen enough that people will.
That's right. That's right. So, you know who to call.
Ghostbusters.
That's right.
That was part 1. Now we're heading into part 2, and you're going to hear Justin and me talk about how relationships can outweigh outcomes, using psychology to win, the frustrations of the credit system, and the most exciting part of real estate. Here we go.
Ultimately, it's about the relationship, because you're going to remember the experience after you sign and you get the keys to the house, or if you don't sign and you don't get the keys to the house.
Yeah.
You're going to remember exactly what it was that you went through.
Yeah. It's the process. It's just I'm going to totally butcher this saying. It's not about, it's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. It's you want to buy a house, and obviously if you're hiring a realtor, that's the hope that's going to happen. But like you said, sometimes things don't go the way you expect them to.
Sure.
And if they don't, you hope that at least everything leading up to that was good enough that you can give it another go with that same person.
Right. Absolutely. It's also really about knowing the person that you're working with, or people that you're working with, right? So I try and take more of a personal, consultative approach to the buy side of a transaction, because I want to know about your family. I want to know if you've got kids, you have aspirations of having kids, or if you just want to be single. Right? It's super important, because
that's all stuff that weighs into what they're going to be looking for.
It's a decision-making tactic that you need to identify for yourself. Right? So, I try and take that approach all of the time on every transaction. And if I feel as though something's not sitting right, or we may view a property together that's not for you, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to tell you. So,
have you ever had people, do people generally appreciate that? Or has there been an experience where you told someone that you were very just candid about it? And they were kind of off-put?
It happens. I mean, I think, the more you understand and the more you can be honest with somebody, right? Because there's another component to being honest with somebody. Most people don't know how to take it. It's hard for most people to accept someone else's honest remarks in a non-offensive way, right?
People get defensive.
I almost have to ask you permission to speak openly and freely about what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. Because what I say might offend you.
It's
That's the world that we live in.
At least if you ask, it's like, you said you were ready for this.
So I asked Dave permission. Say, Dave, this is what I'm thinking, feeling. Can I tell you? Can I share that with you? And you tell me no.
I want to be.
I
want to live in my own little world right here.
There's some uncomfortability there. Right? So, it's happened to me before where I've asked the permission from a client to speak openly and freely about what I'm thinking about a property. Or even just a situation. And it's backfired.
Really?
That's not on me, that's on them, because they can't handle.
One way or another, whether they accept it or not, there is a reality to the situation. And eventually it's going to catch up to them if they're not accepting it.
100%.
Interesting.
So I almost take like a therapeutic, psychological approach to real estate. Without trying to dissect somebody too much.
You're going in there like any CSI show.
I'm not trying to wear your skin.
Hire Justin Heath. He doesn't want to wear your skin. Okay, so elaborate on that, because I think, again, that's a kind of a common thread about the way that we do things. We, on a very lesser extent, we kind of analyze people, but it's for the betterment of the entire situation for everybody, right? So what is that? How does that pan out for you?
It makes my job easier. Tenfold. Being able to sit down with somebody like we're doing today and have real talk, about expectations, desires, money. These are all things that an agent, or a solid agent, should be asking a potential buyer. We need to know those things, because without it, we have no idea what position you're in. If you expect me to write an offer on a home and I don't understand that, I haven't done my job in asking you the qualified questions to put you in position to win. And that's really what my job is at the end of the day, is to put you in position to win, but in a secure spot.
It's almost like you're the coach and your buyers are the players. And you're doing everything that you can in your power to get them ready for the big game. And if there's a bunch of other players that are getting in there, and you are hoping that they're going to be ready to do exactly what they need to do, put in the best offer, have the best relationship. and get approved.
This isn't a case of, fourth quarter yanking my starting quarterback.
It's so soon. It's so soon.
It really is, like, I use that term, like dissecting a buyer. I really want to know about you.
Yeah.
Because that helps the situation, right? And some people are uncomfortable with that. Some people don't want to give away, they're too close to the vest on their life, their situation, their credit. You got to think, right? So there's a major topic, credit. I hear that word, or I heard that word at some point in my past life, and that makes me freaking cringe. Right.
I feel like that's a lot of people, though.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still, what's your credit score?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough conversation.
Is it?
Think about it. But I just meet you.
Yeah.
I'm asking you 3 questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at a house before?
Mm-hmm.
Are you pre-qualified? No. What's your credit?
I feel like the only position that you could be in that would be an uncomfortable thing is if it's just bad.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Maybe this is just my perspective, but I've got solid credit.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to be like, yeah, this is what I've got.
Correct.
If it was tanking, it was awful, I'd be like, maybe I don't want people openly knowing that as much. I could understand. America
has created a system of judgment based off of credit worthiness. Sad.
Yeah.
But that is the reality of life.
Again, it's the reality that you need to either accept or it's going to catch up to you.
We basically categorize our relationship on buying something by credit worthiness.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It's almost dehumanizing to a degree, because there are a lot of good people out there that don't have good credit that want to purchase a home. And so working with those people is still just as important as working with somebody who's got an 810 credit score. Yeah. Right? Because you want to help them. It's all about opportunity. Right. There's people who have better prepared for a certain situation. Mm-hmm. And so when the opportunity presents itself, they are ready to strike. Sure. They've been coached right. Or they've coached themselves right, and they're the players that are ready. Yeah. But ultimately, maybe, there's people out there who are ready, itching to play, itching to get in the game, but just can't. And they haven't had the same training program. Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm really loving all these sports analogies. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to tie it in. Yeah. But it's just, they may have all the untapped potential in the world. They may be like the best team player and everything, but they just aren't in that spot. Strong salary, really bad credit. Really bad credit, not enough income. Yeah. Or really good credit, not enough income. Right. I should say. Right. So those scenarios are out there, and that's why I say dissecting a client is not a negative term. It's a positive, because that helps me help you, and that's really what you're coming to me for. Yeah. Right. If buying a house was help me. Yeah. Exactly. Help you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. What was that? Jerry Maguire. Right. Do we need to do that bit? I think we should. We're gonna cut to that now. Yeah, so like it's all in my approach. Yeah. Right? And some you win and some you don't. Mm-hmm. And the ones that you don't, you get past. You move on, because there's always going to be, as long as you're working and creating positive relationships, there's always going to be another client that you can help and service, Right. Those ones sting that don't see the value. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. That's on them. Right. That's exactly it. It all, I have it in my head, it all comes back to, here is the reality that's happening. You're either with it or you're not, and it's going to bite you. And it seems like the people that don't see the value in it are the ones that they'll go to a realtor that's just going to tell them what they want to hear. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to get the legs swept from underneath them. Right. And not understand why. Yeah. Because they were finally hearing what they wanted to hear, and then the reality that you had presented to them, or trying to, finally caught up. Right. Blindside. And it's real life scenario. I was going through it today. I've actually got offers that will be submitted into the system tonight to another agent on a listing. I represent a buyer and just got really solid credit, decent income, but all properties that she's seeing right now are few and far between with what she's expecting. So we found one. I know that there's going to be a super competitive offering on the house. Yeah. There's going to be multiple bids, and my one of my mortgage consultants and I had a conference call with her this afternoon just to say, hey, listen, like, this is where you need to be. If you want to be competitive, it's above your comfort zone. We understand, but that's the lay of the land right now. And if you want to win, you need to be willing to do X, Y, Z. Yeah. And here's the risk if you don't. Right? Yeah. So if they want it bad enough, they'll get on board. Yeah. And if they don't want it bad enough, then that's another conversation. Right. That's all right. Peel back. We're not ready to buy right now.
And it's almost like that's not even a bad thing still too, because at least they're having that clarity. Yeah. It's okay. Here is, like you said, here is the lay of the land. Yeah. Here's how it is. And you know what? We decided. Yeah. It seems like the most important part is being able to make that decision. It's like, let's pull back. Yeah. There's something else out there.
I don't ever want to downshift unless it's to pass somebody. Yeah. Really, honestly, right. Like it's a difficult conversation to have with a buyer if they're not in a position or state of mind to put an offer in on a place that this is checking all of their boxes. Yeah. Right? If they don't act in today's environment with the market being the way that it is, they're going to lose. Yeah. My job is to keep that from happening. Yeah. And if they are giving me signs that show hesitancy, we need to pull back. We need to have another conversation. Right.
So it's all conversations.
That's it.
It's all communication and making sure that you fully understand what they want, where they need to go.
100%. All the time. Yeah. It's an ongoing conversation. I've got people that want to sell their house, right? Yeah. They want to buy a house, right, but they need to sell a house in order to buy. And those people, depending on the financial situation, some can buy without selling. Right. Some need to sell
to be able to buy.
Yeah. But the folks that are in that category, the sell to buy, if they're not ready to sell, they're not ready to buy. Yeah. They may want to buy, right, but they have to commit. Yeah. Right. So it's all about a conversation, and it can get uncomfortable, but there are a lot of fun and exciting aspects to doing it, to purchasing real estate.
Give me one. Give me your top exciting aspect.
It's literally, if we're just talking about the buy side, it's the photo op at the end, and knowing, not for me, but for the buyer, and knowing at the end of the day they've achieved and they attained their goal. Yeah. That's what it is, right? It's literally handing the key to Dave and say, you did it, man. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Congrats. You are now, you might be a first-time home buyer. Yeah. You're a first-time homeowner now. Like, that's a huge accomplishment for somebody.
Yeah. And you were there to be able to facilitate.
And they trusted me to get them there.
That's huge.
That's the best part about the job, is to literally see the excitement on someone's face. Like, can I curse?
You can absolutely curse.
Holy shit. Yeah. Holy shit. I just signed all these documents. Yeah. And I'm getting keys to a new house. Yeah. Or to my very first house.
That's huge.
Right. Yeah. That's what it's about.
So there it is. If your real estate agent isn't having fun when you're working with them, then maybe you should look for another one. There's a couple reasons that I wanted to bring Justin on the show. One of them being that he is using video and newer technology in an industry that hasn't really widely adopted that yet. And the second is that his mindset and perspectives on business in general are so entrepreneurial. And I found that a lot of people with that type of mindset are interested in finding new ways to grow their business and push the limits. And there's a good chance that if you're watching or listening to this, that's you. So whatever industry you're in, whether it's real estate or video or anything else, if you have that entrepreneurial spirit, then I hope a lot of what we said here resonates with you. And if it did, let us know. The biggest thing that I took away from this conversation with Justin is that the most important part of growing a business or growing a brand is putting yourself in front of people and giving them the opportunity to get to know you and what you're about. And that not everybody is going to like it. They might not even have a good reason for it, but that's okay. Rejection is part of the game, and failing forward is how we win. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to hit subscribe so that you can check out the new episodes that we've got coming out weekly, and click right around here to check out a playlist of the older episodes that we've already released. If you're listening in, make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review. And of course, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm David Lisowski over there, and follow me on Instagram at EntrepreneurBra. As always, make sure to check out the next episode. And in the meantime, be nice to people, drink lots of water, and keep on winning with video.